Have you ever wondered if God hears you? If the sign you've been asking for could possibly come through something as simple as this very message? Beloved, this is no accident. This moment, right now, is your divine confirmation. The Lord is speaking directly to your heart, not in riddles, not in distant echoes, but in the clearest way your spirit can receive. I see you. I hear you. I know you. You've carried questions in silence, whispered prayers in the night, and longed for something, anything, to let you know you're not alone in this journey. And here it is, a whisper from heaven in the form of these words. God says, I am going to do something marvelous in your life. Not someday. Not when you're more perfect. But now, in your weakness, in your doubt, right where you are. Let that truth anchor your soul. Let it still your anxious heart. You don't have to carry every fear, every disappointment, every unanswered question anymore. Bring them to the feet of the one who can handle it all. God wants you to trust him, not with part of your heart, but all of it. He is your healer. He is your peace. He is the source of your strength. He sees the wounds you hide, the emotional ones, the ones no one else notices, and he's not turning away. In fact, he's moving in your life this very moment, renewing every weary part of you. Where anxiety once had a grip, peace is now rising. Where despair once lived, hope is taking root. Maybe you're surrounded by uncertainty. Maybe your relationships feel strained or your finances have been a source of endless stress. God knows. He sees. And he promises to bring order from your chaos. He's going to open doors you thought were sealed shut. He's guiding your decisions even now, steering you around the traps the enemy has set. And here's what he's asking from you: keep trusting. Keep walking. Don't give up. The Spirit of God within you is powerful, far more powerful than anything that has tried to defeat you. He's giving you the courage to break free from what's been holding you back. Whether it's fear, addiction, guilt, or grief, it doesn't have the final word. You are not defeated. You are not your past. You are a child of God, seen, known, and deeply loved. Let this be your moment of awakening. Not just a sign, but a turning point. Your breakthrough begins now. Take a deep breath, beloved. Right now, in this sacred pause, something within you is shifting. Not because of your strength, but because of the one who holds all strength. Heaven is leaning in, and your spirit is being restored, gently and quietly. God sees how long you've been trying to hold everything together, juggling responsibilities, masking pain, pushing through the exhaustion. You've been strong for so long, haven't you? Strong for your family, strong for your friends, even when you were breaking inside. But the Lord wants you to know, you don't have to carry this alone anymore. Your Father in heaven is stepping into your storm, not with a loud clap of thunder, but with a whisper of peace. He's calming the chaos inside of you. You've wrestled with thoughts that kept you up at night, fears that gripped your heart in the quiet, and regrets that whispered lies about your worth. But God is silencing every voice that doesn't speak his truth over your life. You are not too far gone. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. There is nothing in your past that can disqualify you from the future he's preparing. God is reaching into the deepest places of your heart, the ones you rarely show, and he's doing what only he can do, bringing healing where you thought there would only be scars. Where sorrow once took root, joy is now beginning to bloom. Where you saw only endings, he is crafting a beginning beyond your imagination. Listen closely. He's saying, I'm restoring your mind. I'm removing the fog of confusion. I'm replacing torment with clarity, fear with peace, and doubt with confidence. You will not be shaken. Your home, too, is under divine renewal. Those silent tensions that wear you down, the burdens you carry for your loved ones, he's tending to each one. Unity is coming. Restoration is in motion. And even your finances, which may have felt like an uphill battle, are now under God's divine management. He's not just making a way, he's going ahead of you, clearing the path and preparing the blessing. So hold fast. There's no need to force your way forward. The doors God opens, no one can shut. The provisions He sends come without sorrow. You will no longer chase peace, peace will chase you, because it is tied to His presence. Now is the time to draw close, not in striving but in surrender. There's power in stillness. There's breakthrough in quiet trust. Let your heart begin to believe again, not in yourself alone, but in the one who made you, chose you, and is guiding you. You are not walking toward defeat. You are walking into divine victory. This is not wishful thinking. This is the voice of your Creator. Now that you've laid down your worries and opened your heart to listen, feel this truth settle deep within you. God is not only near, He's actively at work within you. You may not always see the change as it happens, but something sacred is unfolding. The Holy Spirit is renewing your spirit, lifting the weight that's been pressing down on your chest for far too long. You are beginning to breathe again, not just with your lungs, but with your soul. There's a quiet strength forming inside you, born not from effort, but from the presence of the Lord. It is strength that doesn't tremble under pressure, doesn't vanish when trials appear, and doesn't rely on performance to remain. It's divine. Eternal. Undeniable. God sees what you've endured in silence. The times you smiled while your heart ached. The days you gave your all and still felt unnoticed. But you were never unseen. Every act of love, every tear wiped away in secret, every prayer whispered in faith, He caught it all. And now, He's pouring back into you. His voice gently speaks, "You've carried enough. Now let me carry you." Even the situations you thought would never change, strained relationships, stagnant dreams, painful memories, are not beyond His touch. He is doing a deep work behind the scenes, one you may not understand now, but soon you will see with new eyes. God is not asking you to figure everything out. He's asking you to stay close. He's calling you away from distractions, from the voices that pull you into fear, into comparison, into self-doubt. You were never meant to live entangled in what others say or what circumstances suggest. You were meant to rise. Not in arrogance, but in holy confidence, confidence that comes from knowing who you belong to. It's time to walk differently. Not weighed down, but lifted by truth. Not anxious, but anchored in grace. Not ashamed, but covered in mercy. Your steps are being reordered. Paths that once seemed blocked are now being illuminated. You don't need to chase after solutions, God is placing them right where you need them, at just the right time. His timing is perfect. His methods, beyond comprehension. But His love? That, you can always count on. As your mind begins to settle and your heart starts to open wider, remember this, you are not just being rescued, you are being rebuilt. The foundation being laid beneath your feet is stronger than any storm that might come. Your spirit is learning to stand not in your own strength, but in His. You are not the same as before. The winds of change have begun to blow. Not chaotic winds, but the gentle breeze of a new season. One where faith takes root and flourishes. One where fear no longer drives your decisions. One where the presence of God becomes your daily breath, your guiding light, your unwavering companion. Keep going. This journey is far from over, but it's no longer a battle you fight alone. As you continue forward, something is becoming undeniably clear, you were never ordinary. Before your first breath, the Father etched your purpose into eternity. You were chosen, not randomly, not reluctantly, but lovingly and intentionally, for such a time as this. Everything you've faced has not been in vain. The battles that left you scarred, the questions that lingered in silence, even the detours you thought were delays, God has woven each moment into a story only He could write. And now, He is inviting you to see your life through His lens, not through the lens of failure or fear, but through the promise of redemption and the certainty of destiny. You are standing on sacred ground, beloved. This is more than a turning point, this is a divine unveiling. The strength that once flickered is now beginning to burn steadily. The doubts that once whispered are fading beneath the sound of God's voice declaring, "You are mine. You are ready. You are rising." And yes, there may still be storms. But you will face them differently now. Because you're not reacting, you're responding from a place of peace. You're not panicking, you're proceeding with wisdom. God isn't simply walking beside you, He's equipping you, preparing your heart to see blessings not as distant wishes, but as living realities. Let this truth wash over you, you are being positioned for impact. The places that once brought you pain will become platforms for healing. The very struggles that nearly broke you will now become testimonies of God's power and grace. This isn't just about surviving anymore, it's about thriving in the fullness of your calling. You are learning to speak life, not only over yourself, but over others. You are becoming a carrier of peace in a world hungry for it. Your prayers are growing deeper, not because they're louder, but because they're rooted in trust. You're not praying out of panic, but from partnership with a God who hears every word. And as you trust Him more, you'll notice the shifts. Where confusion once lived, clarity will reign. Where anxiety tried to rule, serenity will stand. Where weariness took over, divine energy will rise. You will walk into rooms with quiet confidence, not to impress, but to bless. You will lead with compassion, not ambition, and you'll see doors open without striving. There is a rhythm to this new season, a holy cadence that invites you to move in sync with God's Spirit. It may not always be fast, but it will always be purposeful. You don't have to chase opportunity, you only need to remain available. He will do the rest. So take heart. Let your past be the backdrop, not the blueprint. Let hope be your compass and love be your language. You were never expected to walk this path perfectly, only faithfully. And the one who called you is faithful to complete every good thing He began in you. This moment is not the end. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. You've come so far. Not by accident, but by grace. This journey hasn't been easy, but look at you. Still standing. Still breathing. Still believing, even if just barely. And that, beloved, is more powerful than you realize. Heaven rejoices not when you perform flawlessly, but when you show up with faith, even when it's trembling. Let this truth sink in, God is not measuring your strength. He's offering you His. You were never meant to shoulder this life alone. The weight you've been carrying, those private burdens, unspoken griefs, fears too heavy to name, God sees every ounce. He never expected you to fix everything, to be everything, or to know everything. He's simply asking you to rest in His sufficiency. Right now, He's whispering, "Let me carry what you can't." It's time to release what was never yours to hold. The pressure to please everyone. The guilt over things you couldn't change. The relentless fear of what's ahead. Hand it over. Lay it down. Trust isn't proven in bold declarations, it's proven in surrender. And as you surrender, you'll begin to notice something sacred, the pressure lifts, and His peace enters. It's not a fleeting calm, but a divine stillness that anchors your soul. Suddenly, you don't need to chase answers. You don't need to scramble for control. You can simply be, held, seen, known, and loved. Just as you are. There is safety here, in God's presence. There is refuge in His embrace. He is not asking you to be strong for Him, He is offering to be strong for you. His power is made perfect in your weakness. His mercy is wide enough for every mistake. His grace reaches deeper than your lowest moments. So come as you are, raw, honest, even weary. God isn't put off by your pain. In fact, it's the very place He meets you most intimately. Not with judgment, but with compassion. Not with demands, but with an invitation, "Come to me, and I will give you rest." And in that rest, healing begins. He's healing the places you forgot needed tending. He's breathing life into dry dreams and speaking hope into hollow places. He's restoring your laughter, not the surface kind, but the deep, soul-lifting joy that bubbles up from within. Joy that isn't dependent on circumstances, but rooted in His unchanging presence. You were made to flourish, not just function. You were created for more than constant survival. There is a rhythm of grace that God is inviting you into, a way of walking through life with open hands, a quiet spirit, and a heart fully anchored in Him. This doesn't mean the road ahead will be without challenges. But it does mean you'll no longer face them alone or ill-equipped. Your confidence will no longer come from outcomes, but from His closeness. You'll stop defining yourself by what's gone wrong, and start rising because of who walks with you. Let today be the day your soul exhales. Let it be the moment where heaviness lifts and hope floods in. Because you are not alone. You never were. Now that the burdens have been laid down and your soul has found space to breathe again, listen closely to what heaven is declaring over your life. It's time to step into the promise. This is not just survival. This is sacred movement. Forward. Brighter. Deeper. The wilderness you once wandered is giving way to wide open fields of purpose, fields already sown with seeds you didn't even know you planted, seeds of perseverance, worship in the dark, and faith that didn't quit. The Lord has seen every quiet yes. Every choice to believe when it would have been easier to give up. And now, like morning breaking after a long night, light is flooding the horizon. It's not the end of the story, it's the unveiling of the next, most radiant chapter. You are not who you were when this journey began. God has reshaped your heart. What once intimidated you now becomes your testimony. What you feared would defeat you has been transformed into fuel for your calling. The Father says, "Rise, beloved." What you thought was a delay was preparation. What felt like silence was me building a foundation so strong, no storm can shake it. He is setting your feet on solid ground, ground that cannot be taken, because it was given by Him. And with this new beginning comes a fresh commissioning. Not only are you healed, restored, and redeemed, you are being sent. Not sent with pressure, but with peace. Not with fear, but with bold assurance. You were always meant to walk in this authority, not loud or showy, but humble, rooted, and spirit-led. Now, you will speak life where there has been despair. Now, you will extend compassion to those still wandering in the dark. Now, you will carry the presence of the One who rescued you, into homes, into conversations, into broken places aching for light. This is the life you were made for. Not perfect. Not without opposition. But powerful. Filled with grace. Saturated in divine purpose. There will still be battles, but now you'll fight from a place of victory, not desperation. God will lead, and you will follow. Step by step, miracle by miracle. So take that step. Even if it's small, even if it's shaky. Every inch of ground taken in faith is ground reclaimed for the kingdom. Don't wait for the ideal moment. This is the moment. Right here. Right now. You are ready because He is with you. And when the road winds again, when the days feel long or the voice of fear tries to return, you'll know where to run. Back into His arms. Back to the quiet place where He still speaks peace over every storm. Remember this always, you are loved with an everlasting love. You are held by the One who does not fail. And you are led by the Spirit who finishes every good work He begins. So go forward, not with uncertainty, but with expectation. The door is open. The invitation is clear. Heaven is cheering you on. Step boldly into the life prepared just for you.